You are now tuned in to Power Podcast, the Empower Hour. Peace and blessings, beautiful souls. I am Brandi L. Bates, author of Moonshine for the Soul, The Art of Grind, and many other books. I'll be your host for tonight. You can find me on Twitter at Soledad Francis and on Instagram at Brandi is Winning. Most of these podcasts can, of course, be found archived on YouTube. Hashtag Power Podcasts. But please listen to them again, always, while they still have all of their vitality and spirit and effervescence, by subscribing to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and or brandybates.podomatic.com. Today we're talking transcendental intelligence, the mystical, divine, the awe-inspiring. And I think that that's true on a personal level, and each person has their own definition of what is awe-inspiring, right? But you can't rush the muse, no matter what language you speak, no matter what socioeconomic background you come from. You can't rush inspiration, no matter what your gender or your religion or your sect. You damn sure can't rush your journey, right? You can't rush the process. And we lose sight of the fact that the universe is made of love. And that's why love is the most dominant, powerful, multinational, global, life-altering force, multidimensional, life-altering force we humans can experience. That's why they say love is the only law. Do as thou wilt. Love is the only law, right? The heart has brain cells in it, believe it or not. The same way your gut has brain cells in it. Science is just now beginning to understand and learn the way the digestive system works, and gut, so-called quote unquote good bacteria and gut bacteria, and what's, how that can affect everything that has to do with your health, your energy levels, all again going back to your gut, because your gut has a brain in it. It's your second mind. That's why we say follow your gut instinct, follow your mind. They've never traced where the mind is, by the way, folks. Your mind is not in your brain. They're two different entities. The brain is not the mind. We point to our head when we talk about the mind, but they've never isolated the mind. No matter how many autopsies and cadavers you slice open, you're never going to locate the organ or the structure that is the mind. But the heart has brain cells in it, suffice it to say. And we all go through seasons of consciousness, because God is a mathematician. God, or the universal mind, or the grand architect of the multiverse, or whatever you choose to identify with, Allah, Yeshua, the Prophet Muhammad, Buddha, Krishna. It's the Pythagorean mind. Math is the only language that is understood in every country, in every city, in every village, on every continent. No matter how many different dialects or different types of languages, math is the same. It's universal. It is the universal language, because the Most High is a mathematician. And that's why we see binary code in everything in creation. That's why they call the Matrix is the universal mama. We see the Fibonacci sequence and the golden mean in all forms of life, from the shape of a snowflake to the spin of the tendrils in each flower on this planet, to waves in the ocean, to the pattern on seashells and butterflies. And we lose sight of the fact, and we forget that we are living simulations embedded within simulations embedded within simulations. That's why they're putting all the predictive programming in your mainstream movies and media, to prep you to see how you're going to react as you come upon the shit that's about to start unfolding and has been unfolding. Understand the technology that NASA and Tesla and SpaceX are on is 50 years ahead of your favorite Star Trek episode or the most obscene Star Wars movie you've ever laid your eyes on. I promise you. Donald Trump isn't even who you all think he is. Research Barron Trump's marvelous underground journey, and then look up Project Pegasus, and then swing around to Tesla transportation. The rabbit hole goes really, really deep, you see. But we can only be played to the level that we allow ourselves to be played. And this relates to you and me and everything with breath and life in its body. You have to find your calling. You have to locate and discover your talents and embellish them, hone them, craft them, and ultimately have them build you into the person you need to make a dent in the universe. I'm trying to tell you that you've got to start walking in the uppercase version of you instead of living life in the lowercase you. And those who I'm talking to, you know I'm talking to you right now, because you like that resonated with you. Because you know that you could be doing more. You know that you could be putting in more work. You know that you could be, getting up earlier, or you can go harder. You know in your heart of hearts that you're putting forth, on a scale of 1 to 10, you're putting out like 3s and 4s level, work ethic, when you could be at least 8 and not lose sleep, not be tired. Commit to what frightens you. Commit to what frightens you. Life's way too short to play small. Like, when you really think about life in the grand scheme of things, most people are going to live between 60, 70 to 80 years. If you're lucky, right? If you're lucky, if you're blessed. Because otherwise, you may live, some people only live 10 years. Some people only live 25. Some people only live 40. And we all got to go one day. But in the grand scheme of things, you're going to be dead a lot longer than you're going to be alive. And in the grand scheme of things, when you really think about, how much time you have to live your life, when you take away the time that you're sleeping, you take away the time that, you're doing something that is involuntary or whatnot, life is short. And so why use this little bit of life to be a dull light bulb? You feel me? You've got to learn to lead from the soul, to lead from the field. To lead is to serve. Our world demands that of you. It's demanded of us all, of you, me, everybody you know, whether they know it or not. But the seduction of safety is always more dangerous than the illusion of uncertainty. So, always look to nature as your constant master teacher. Nature always finds a way. You want to learn how to survive, how to tuck and roll when life really start kicking your ass? You want to understand how to bounce back and come back double for your trouble better? Study nature. Study the ant. My people, study ants. Study honeybees. Study eagles. Study hawks. Study the lion, elephants. Study the way the seasons behave. Why certain things only happen in autumn or fall that don't happen in spring, and certain things that only can happen in spring would never happen in winter, no matter what the climate is doing. Even if you only define success with a net worth attached to it, right? So those of you who only speak like no habla money, like if it's not about money, you don't understand it. To double your income, you have to triple your investment in your education, your professional education, your book knowledge, your self-help, and your personal development, your skills, tightening up on your abilities, right? Riches are found in micro niches. I used to say to all my mentees, don't let a Girl Scout outsell you, because it's Girl Scouts out here really outselling some of you salespeople. I know Girl Scouts who will outsell your ass, and they're 9 and 10 years old, and they're out here hustling more than some of you so-called, you a boss, you a boss chick. I know Girl Scouts who will outwork you, and they understand that riches are found in micro niches. Small daily micro wins, when done continually over time, lead to staggering results. And that's the thing. We like to go hard for a short amount of time and just, be excited for the little wins, which all wins are great. But instead of the consistent slow grind, the slow simmer always, works to bring out the most flavor, right? Develop an obsessive attention to detail. Think Ferrari, think Louis Vuitton, Gucci, think Coca-Cola, the Coca-Cola family, think Ted Turner and his, think macro, right? World-class user experiences are all about winning at the small stuff that everyone else isn't thinking about. But there's huge opportunity in those little gaps, right? And the secret to genius is doing less. Yes, doing less. Developing a maniacal focus on being brilliant at one thing. One thing is the key to all mastery. And you're smart. So you know that the person who tries to get great at many things ends up mediocre at all of them, right? Jack of all trades, master of none. That's why I feel sorry for people when they're like, oh, I'm working 2 and 3 jobs and, I'm doing this, and this. And I'm like, you're never going to swim in those deep waters because you have to stay too close to the shore. And the deep waters is where the treasure is. You're not going to find no pearls, baby, up on the sand. They not up on the sand, baby. They deep down in the deep depths, right? You have to find your lane and work it like it's never been worked. Genius has less to do with natural talent and divinely blessed gifts and more to do with just relentless fucking focus. to the point of obsession. They got to call you like, you're not really going to put a dent in anything. You're not busting no grapes until they're calling you crazy because you're so obsessed and passionate. Your passion is palpable. We can cut it with a knife when we walk in the room with you. Extreme practice and common grit. That's what it's about. That's what's popping. That's the move. That's the wave. And so you were born with the ability to go fish. You don't have to wait around for somebody to teach you how to fish. You were born with that ability already within you as an instinct. But I mean, the Most High or the government or society, the people, your parents, no one's responsible for giving you the fish, and they got to chop it up and they got to go get it and they got to season it and they got to grill it for you and then they got to feed it to you and then they got to wipe your ass, right? The caliber of your practice determines. We're talking about practice. Practice. We're talking about practice. The caliber of your practice determines the quality of your performance. Don't worry about the economy when you can be so genius at what you do. You can be so the Michael Jordan of it. You could be the Oprah of it, the Bill Gates of it, right? You could be the Nelson Mandela of it, the Serena of it at what you do. That you create your very own personal economy. There are some people who have never been affected by the quote unquote economy, or people say times are hard, or when Reagan was in office, this, that, and the third, or when Bill Clinton was in office, or what have you. There are certain families and certain people, household names like Ralph Lauren, or again, the Coca-Cola family, or, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They are never affected no matter what the economy does. There are only two other professions and industries that fit in that same box. And that's the funeral industry, right? They are always in business, baby. They are never going to ever file bankruptcy. They're never going to be in the red. Because as sure as my name is Brandi, people are going to be dying all day, every day. And the other industry is drugs. No matter what the economy is doing, the drug industry is always profitable. There's always profits, no losses. But I joined that 4 a.m. club and I saw my bag triple, y'all. No lie. The 4 a.m. club. See, the 4 a.m. club is those rare air performers in our world. And you all know them. We all know them. These people, their ambition is so big and so just heavy that it meant they couldn't fit in the 5 a.m. club. Their ambition is like BBW level, right? It's that big Arnold Schwarzenegger level. They're too big for the petite 5 a.m. club, right? So they go a little deeper. But outlearning everyone around you is the game changer. Outlearning them. You can the only way you can win is either to outwork the competition or outlearn the competition. Those are the only two ways you can get ahead, because competition is always around us. There's always competition, not just in business and, it's competition among siblings. There's competition for land, for food, in every aspect of life. But it's the game changers when you know more, when you have more experience and you have more finesse with things that you can, it's like a head start almost. It's like playing Monopoly and you padded your account with a couple more G's than everybody else. The best love learning. The best people, I don't care if your best athletes, your best basketball player, baseball players, your best business people, they love to learn new things so they can sharpen their swords. Because they know that once you know more, you can achieve more. And the more you learn, the more you really earn. Like, that's a real thing. Like, that's real talk. The early bird really does get the worm. And that's true on a metaphysical level. Energy is far more valuable than intelligence. Your energy? What? Because you're going to run out of energy. Right? Energy is finite. You're going to run out of that at some point. The shit you get away with in your 20s, how you can just party and turn up and get up for class at 8 a.m. and you got a full load. You got 2 jobs. You got kids, right? In your 30s and 40s, that's going to start to diminish. You're not going to be able to bounce back. You know, you might be able to party hard, but your the return won't be as your bounce back won't be as easy. Energy is valuable. Health is more brilliant than gold. Ask Steve Jobs when he was on his dying bed. One of the top 5% of the world's wealthiest people, and that couldn't buy him a longer life. That couldn't buy him longevity, even with all his infinite knowledge and intellect and creativity. It couldn't afford him or convert into eternal life or immortality, right? People can change. The thing you most fear carries your greatest growth. Commit to what frightens you. Because all change is hard at first, right? Everything is hard before it's easy. Because you have to learn. You have to get over the learning curve. But all change is hard at first, messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end. Everything about breakthrough is glorious. Everything about it. We all love a rags to riches story. I don't care who you are. You have respect for the rags to riches story, right? But we forget that everything is in the mind. Literally, everything is in the mind. Everything. You can't even smell a scent until the brain tells your olfactory senses to send it the information. You know, things have to happen on a neurobiological level. But everything is in the mind. So be alone a lot. Be alone a lot. All massively creative people value solitude because it allows them to protect their dreams, to nurture them from the voices of dissent, to refuel their creativity and to get stuff done free from distraction. They say if you want to get more done, travel alone. If you want to go further, travel in packs. But if you want to get more done, go alone. Be alone. That's why they say it's lonely at the top. Because being at the top is a lone wolf lifestyle, baby. Remember that the things that get scheduled are the things that get done. I'd be like, hey girl, call me. We're going to get together. Knowing the whole time my schedule's already booked. I'm already knowing I can't do it. I'm already thinking of an excuse when I say that. That's some LA shit. Girl, hey girl, call me. Let's get together. Yes, let's do brunch. Let's do Starbucks. Whole time in your mind, you're like, I need to think of some reason to text them that day and say I can't make it. Because again, if it's not on the calendar, baby, it don't exist. Stuff that's not, that's why they say write down your goals. Write down your 101 things you want to do and places you want to go and where do you want to travel? What do you want to have? What do you want your spouse to look like? What do you want your children to look like? How do you want your ultimate dream house to look? Your dream car, your dream lifestyle. Write it out. Write the vision. Make it plain with real pen and paper or pencil and finger to writing device to paper. But you won't be able to bring everyone with you. Like the trees in autumn and fall begin to shed their leaves just before rebirth, right? Just before rebirth, we see the trees shed all their leaves. They let go of it all. Release. This happens in your life often, if it's any good. You're not still hanging out with the people you hung out with in kindergarten, right? You didn't keep up with those people. Maybe one, maybe, but you throughout seasons of consciousness and different seasons in your life, it's just like summer, winter, spring, and fall. On a macro level, as above, so below. That will happen in your life. And you will have to shed people the way that the trees shed leaves. And you have to find what stays in the middle of your mind, so much so that you find it hard not to care. Hard not to always be drawn to it, no matter how much you try to look away. Disrupt or be disrupted. Disrupt or be disrupted. Because this is an eat or be eaten world we live in. I don't care what your belief system is. I don't care how much of a pacifist you might be. I don't give a damn about how nonviolent you claim to be. The food chain is real. This is a reality in nature. This is a reality in this world, on this planet. The lion is the king of the jungle for a reason. There are no coincidences in this life. Not in this dimension. Maybe in the other quantum hyperdimensional realities, but not this one, right? Your most glorious transformation will always come on the backside of your most painful heartbreak and heartache. Always just after the darkest depths and lows in your life is going to be the most hypest, transformative shit you've ever imagined. But that's because chaos always gives rise to order. In that order. To make more money, you have to help more people. That's why Amazon is the everything store. And that's why they are a $1 trillion net worth company. Because they understand that to make more money, you have to help more people. And the most people you can help, the more money. But they say more money, more money, more money. That's just the reality. NBA. That's the whole gist of it. In that order. Talk about ideas versus people. And dreams versus others. And see what that bag do. See where that takes you. Never lose the sparkle in your eyes. And your sense of wonder about the things most people take for granted, right? Because there may be limits on your time. Time, again, is a finite thing. You're going to run out of it. You can't get your time back. You can't go back to being 4 years old or 16. You can't go back to losing your virginity once that has happened, right? There may be limits on your energy, on your youthfulness, on your health, but ultimately your potential really has no limits. There are no ceilings on the shit you are capable of. None. They don't even exist. That means you literally can do like all things. So don't ever lose sight of what's important in life, right? Your family, children, parents, your pets, your dreams, your well-being. You know, at the end of the day, we just want well-being, right? You want to be happy for your well-being. You know what I mean? You want to have the edge for your well-being. But that's the only thing that's real. That's the only thing that's really real. This social media shit, this shit's not real. People stage their Snapchat and Instagram. I was reading where they said kids go and buy clothes and buy, Balenciagas and buying all these outfits and high priced belts and chains and rings, and then they take the pictures and post it to their social media, and then they go return it. Like, what kind of bum are you? You got like that? You bumming that bad, But this is the world we live in. None of this shit's real. Even the people you think are just living life, you find out later they're depressed, bipolar, going through things, holding on by a strand. Not saying always, but often. None of this is real. But your dreams, your well-being, your people, your babies, your brothers and sisters, that's real. So value the people who've taught you the most. Value the people who've taught you the most. Value the people who've taught you the most. Even those who have hurt you the deepest. They are your master teachers in disguise. The asshole that's honking at you after you've cut them off, or they cut you off, or they flipping you the bird. That's a master teacher in disguise, teaching you the lesson of patience. Be the person you would want to be around the most. But again, never lose the sparkle in your eyes and your sense of wonder about the things most people take for granted. Thank you for listening. Peace.